Okay, remember that they're changing my voice. Okay, so part of the entertainment industry is Hollywood. And what links, rappers and musicians to celebrities and their parties quite often is, corporations, uh, social clubs, what have you. And the Freemasons, as you can see, have a certain uniform and uniformity with various social clubs and groups, and they kind of push the purge mentality of society. What material is built on, what material is discarded. And in the word material, you have the word mate, the word avoid, right? Alpha, void, right? They don't want God's son because they never grew up. And we know that from their own book, right? In Greece and Rome, there was whites, Jews, and LGBT people, and they're very much aware of the Old Testament. Proverbs 27:19, as water reflects the face, so one's life reflects the heart. Death and destruction are never satisfied, neither are human eyes. The crucible for silver and the furnace for gold, but people are tested by their praise. So they're tested by what? Their praise. Proverbs 28:4, those who forsake instruction praise the wicked, but those who heed it resist them. So they are tested by how much they resist the wicked and why. Matthew 10:22, you'll be hated by everyone because of me, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. So are you standing firm? Are you doing what Abraham did and putting your family at risk for what's right and willing to let them die and so on and so forth for what is right? Or are you wicked? Proverbs 12:8, a person is praised according to their prudence, but one with a warped mind is despised. Man, they got my car clicking, making funny noises to distract me because they're immature, right? So you see how if you're saying you hate the type of worms who take on a psycho circus stance and harass the top martial artist ever possible, he's making this video. And grow the fuck up. And so it's more than fair for me to use my God-given spiritual powers to call down punishments on their souls and their offspring. And for those of you who don't know very much about martial arts or religion or reality, for me to ask God for those things. Now, no offense to the LGBT community. A lot of LGBT people are professionals, okay, and they're very diplomatic, very considerate, what have you, in a secular sense of these ideas. A lot of Jews and white people. When we look at the culture on the screen, for example, right, you see how Uncle Sam's depicted. He's depicted like an amalgamation, a combination of white, Jewish, and LGBT features. For those of you who don't understand that, think about blackface. We'll get into that later on in my video series here, where it's like this kind of psycho clown Uncle Sam. It's like a Jew who lost his mind, or a white person who finally flipped and lost their mind. Where these things overlap, right? It's the overlap. It's a combination. So when you have whites, Jews, and LGBT people kind of social engineer on the highest level, when they try to lead, that's what ends up happening, is you get this kind of psycho circus. Now, why is that? Well, part of it is breeding. Listen very carefully. I'm not racist. I'm part white. Okay? My mom is a smart person, a reasonable person. Do I think she should be in charge of things? No. She has certain faults that have to do with white genetics. That when my dad married her, and his dominant genes kind of, in me at least, they conquered her recessive genes, in regards to certain ideas and certain gene expressions. Okay, so white people quite often, they're kind of nerdy. Okay, quite often, right? Or they're jocks, or they're angry guys, and you have certain kind of typical traits. Now, again, this is not about bashing white people, Jews, what have you. Again, it's not about that. It's about explaining what's going on here. Okay, we're in a Judeo-Christian culture. That's why it's called that, Judeo-white, right? And it's LGBT influenced, okay? And you look at the people on the screen, you see the LGBT in them, you see the Jew in them, you see the white in them. If you do not agree, I urge you to put in the comments, okay? If I was wrong, which I'm sure I'm not, but if I was, I'd want to know. I'm not racist. I'm calling it how I see it, okay? So you look up nerd in the dictionary, it says worthless, foolish, and contemptible, and it's a nerd-heavy, right? Science-heavy society, okay? White culture, Jewish culture, LGBT culture. You look up LGBT in the Urban Dictionary, at least back in the day, and I used to have a picture of this, and I think they deleted it, they covered up the video, but it said gay in the Urban Dictionary. Many people my age, especially in the Bay Area, they know that this is the case. The term was used to mean stupid and pointless. Like you say, hey, should you ride around, dressed like, should you get on a bicycle and dress like Dr. Zeus and make funny noises? No, say that's stupid. You say that's gay. Okay, that was a figure of speech. Again, no offense to the LGBT community. That was the figure of speech. That was what the word meant. It meant stupid and pointless. And it first and foremost means that because of Greco-Roman culture, for example, fraternities, right? Because if you put them in charge of something, it's going to be stupid. A frat party is stupid. People wearing aprons and acting like they're more moral than the people that they're disenfranchising, the people that they have marginalized. That's stupid. Okay, that's why they would say that's gay. Okay? So society is made in a way that's worthless, foolish, contemptible, stupid, okay, and pointless. Instead of people admitting that their cultures are stupid. Look at the message of the Bible. It says, look, it says, leave your stupid and pointless pagan cultures and come into universal pinpoint and moral precision. And then a bunch of Roman Statue of Liberty trans state people said no, they want people in a trance and living a stupid and pointless life, but they're going to still call it Christianity and Catholicism and so on and so forth. That's what's happened here. It's a huge part of what's going on here. So the purge is about the purge, right? To pour, in terms of, they talk about libations, there's semen impregnating people. The purge, a magic spell, also refers to sexual control and who's, ejaculating on who. Excuse my French, this has to be said again. Just calling it how I see it, saying the truth, not caring about your social norms or your sense of propriety or your sense of what should be said or not. Okay. So the G can also, the vowels, interchangeable vowels, vowel L, the G can be replaced with the gay, right? So the G, Jew, gay. So the purge is the dragon, which is a play on words for the G, Jew, gay, nerd, right? Dragon, dragon. And you also get the word nerd from Nord, nerd, Nord, Nordic, nerd, Nordic, no, R, dick. And again, Fed, FBI, feed. And FBI is fib scrambled. And feed and DEF can sound like the word DEAF, deaf. Okay? So they don't want you to listen to God. They want you to listen to them. They're saying the F, the FU, the sex is bisexual. And they're saying they want you to live a fib and so on. It's in all parts of the system, right? CIA, right? CI Alpha. Okay? Customs, right? Immigration, ICE, immigration and customs enforcement. Justice, just ICE. It's all over the system. So they're purging the people who are righteous, like it says in Isaiah 57, the righteous are taken away. At this point, only complete idiots try to reproduce because now there's no logical way possible to have a decent and righteous future. So the purge is the white, the Jew, and the LGBT community with the token minorities, especially the crypto Jews, working with every kind of culture in the system to screen out the righteous. And the pinnacle of righteousness, right, saving the best for last for the final ceiling, is the Royal African Falcon top martial artist, right? It's all throughout the Bible, especially in Proverbs, Matthew 10:22. You'll be hated by everyone because of me, but the one who stands firm to the end will be saved. Who stands firm better than everyone else? A military guy who already, assimilated to the system? Okay? A police officer already assimilated? A bodybuilder? No. These guys are just conformists. It's a martial artist. Flanders, a priest? No, these guys, sold out like first and foremost, damn near. Okay, so who stands firm? Who fits the description? Tribe B. Who is actually being that? Tribe, TRI can become TRA, right? Interchangeable vowels. Art B. Heart, he art. The center, the core. Who actually has the heart to stand firm? It's the Royal African Falcon top martial artist. And you see hints here and there. Martin Luther King Day, the Black Panthers, Nelson Mandela, Marcus Garvey, and on and on and on and on. Okay. A lethal grace for authority. Who was the first first minority president? It was a black person, even though the most stigmatized race in this country. A certain kind of natural ability to kind of rise and dominate naturally, not artificially. Artisans, craftsmen, art, illusion, not artificially, but naturally. Supernatural, essence of natural. Superman, essence of man, not artificial corporate fucking worm throwing his weight around while he's sabotaging people, but actual alpha, actual Superman, actual essence of man. We'll get into that in the next video with the Superman is superimposed on Horus on me. Well, we'll get to that. Yeah, of course, Lois Lane, like Wonder Woman and Snow White, has the black hair. Princess Jasmine, the black hair, which goes back to Isis with the black hair. Okay. And there's more than one reason one could argue that Osiris was called the Lord of the Black Hair. Okay, High Ra, scrambled. And rhymes with, hair and stare. And hair and heir, the heir to the throne. Now again, the Osirian mysteries are Osirian mysteries. They're not universal, pinpoint, and moral precision. But there's hints of this, that, and the other thing there. Okay, so the purge. And you see the various pictures there and how it connects to, the doctrine of discovery, expansionism, nation building, manifest destiny, continentalism, the various philosophies that white supremacists and Jewish supremacists and LGBT supremacists in early colonial culture used to kind of quote unquote justify their colonialism and their rape and torture and abuse of people, why they try to force them into their cultures, right? The Catholics had some kind of legislation where they said that anybody who wasn't a Christian didn't have a valid claim to land. And there's all kinds of stuff to that effect all throughout history. Tons and tons of this stuff that makes it clear, right? Why is it called canon law? Why isn't it the law of martial arts? Why isn't the divine law? Why is it canon law? Because they've used technology, throw their weight around. The word tech, T-E-C-H, is C-H-E-T scrambled, which is the same sound as C-H-E-A-T, right? Cheat, tech and cheat. Tech and teach. What are you teaching them? Are you teaching them universal pinpoint and moral precision, or white supremacy and bullshit of that nature? Theater arts, propaganda, mere psychology, what have you? And it goes back to the purge. They're purging the way, the truth, and the life. And they're raping and they're killing. Ritual madness, right? Fertility deities. And they also impressed upon through the Catholics and otherwise, the Mexicans, they impressed upon them the worship of the mother goddess under the form Santa Muerte or something like this, right? This fertility deity that's the cartels are perhaps the most associated with. And of course, they're working with the CIA and the Catholics and the Jesuits and the Protestants and the CIA and the Jews and the CIA and the Gnostics, and every major culture you see has representation in the CIA. Right? If it's a major white culture, they're CIA agents. They're making sure that they get their part of the pie and so on and so forth.